Hi friends, my name is Sachin Guru. I'm the author of upcoming book called Wealth Sutra. Firstly, happy Padva and happy Ugadi for all the people who are watching this video. I wish you and your family a happy and safe Ugadi and Gudi Padva. Now friends, today's video is purely in respect of the announcement made by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitaraman. Before we start, there are 3 points which I'd like to just mention. First is, I really thank you from the bottom of my heart for seeing my videos, giving the comments. I received a lot of inputs in relation to the budget updates which I gave, and also in respect of the tax regime, old and new tax regime which I gave, etc., etc. So really thanks from the bottom of my heart. The second important point is that, as you know, our Prime Minister has announced a lockdown, for entire next 21 days. So I would humbly request you and your family to be safe, secure, and please don't come out of the house unless it is required as per the law, which is just to purchase certain basic necessities. The second point. The third most important point is that, please note that currently whatever Nirmala Sitaraman has said, it is mainly tax and regulatory aspects. In other words, they have just proposed certain tax and regulatory aspects to benefit the industry and the common man. Now, before we go in detail, please understand there are relevant notifications, relevant circulars, etc., which will be coming out based on this particular whatever proposals. Okay, so this is just declared tax regulatory provisions, okay, proposed provisions for benefit of the common man considering the COVID-19. Now, there are also economic packages which she said that she is going to announce, so we need to take it separately. This video is purely dedicated to tax, regulatory and compliance aspects. Okay, so I think this is clear. So let us start now one by one. Now the first limb is in terms of the direct taxes. In the direct taxes, what they have done is that, earlier the return filing date for the financial year 18-19 was 31st March 2020. In other words, for an individual, the due date to file the return, individual and HUF and certain other categories, the due date to file the return of income is 31st July 2019, okay, for 18-19 financial year. But you can still file the return by 31st March 2020, paying certain penalty of 5,000 or so. Now what the government has done is they have extended the due date from 31st March 2020 to June 30th, 2020. So this is one benefit which they have given for people to file the return. This is in terms of direct tax. Second thing, what the government has also done is that there was a deadline for linking the Aadhar and PAN while filing the return of income. That again has been extended from 31st March to 30th June. This is the second point in the direct taxes. The third point is that, if you are dealing the TDS payments, advance tax, self-assessment, etc., the government earlier used to levy interest at the rate of 18% per annum. Again, I'll repeat. If you are dealing self-assessment tax, advance tax, TDS, etc., the government was levying interest at the rate of 18% per annum. Now they have halved the interest at the rate of 9%. So what the government is saying, okay, we understand your challenges, and therefore in this context we are ensuring that we are giving certain relief in terms of the reduction of the interest from 18% to 9%. Then the fourth point in terms of direct taxes is also the Vivad Se Vishwas Scheme. In other words, this was a dispute resolution scheme. Earlier, the government had given a deadline of 31st March 2020. Now that has been extended to 30th June 2020, meaning we are extending the entire scheme to 30th June 2020 so as to give relief to the people and businesses in particular, so as to ensure that the burden of the tax and cash flow is not impacted. This is as far as the direct tax is concerned. There are certain other provisions, but I am touching these only. Also remember that the budget has been passed in Lok Sabha, but now the present assent is remaining, so we'll wait for that. Once it comes out, I'll give a fresh video on the budget comparing what the provision was earlier and what it is now. Okay, this is direct tax. Now let's come to indirect tax. The GST annual return filing for 2018-19 has been extended to 30th June 2020. Earlier the date was 31st March 2020. Now the government has extended the due date for filing GST annual return for the financial year 18-19 from 31st March 2020 to 30th June 2020. Similarly, the government has also extended the due date for the GST returns to be filed in March, April, May. So this has to be filed by June 30th. So what the government has done is March, April, May GST due date returns has been extended to June 30th so as to give relief to the business and tax people. Okay, this is what is in terms of the GST returns. Third point is also the government has said that under GST law, if a person's turnover is less than 5 crores, if they delay the payment of the tax, then no interest and penalty will be levied. Please remember this. If a person's turnover is less than 5 crores under the GST regime and they delay the payment of the tax, then in such case, the interest and penalty will not be levied. In all other cases, interest will be levied at half the rate. Earlier the rate was 18% per annum, now it is 9%. So people whose turnover is less than 5 crores, if they delay the GST payment, no tax, no penalty, no interest. Secondly, for people other than this, like people who are having more than 5 crores turnover, for them there will be half of the interest, which is 18% per annum, 9% per annum, and there will not be any penalty. Further, there are certain other amendments in GST, I will not go in detail. Then the third most important thing is in the banking sector, the government has done away with the bank charges in terms of ATM withdrawals. You can withdraw from other banks' ATM also, so they have cut away the penalty because of the cash flow impact. Also, what has happened is in terms of bank, the zero balance account doesn't have any charge. So you can maintain zero balance. Again, I'm telling all these are proposals. We'll wait for circular, notification, announcement, press release, whatever we call, and let us take it step by step. This is in terms of the banking. Apart from this, the MSME have been given relief, wherein earlier their limit was less under the reference to the dispute, that is National Company Law Tribunal, that is for dispute resolution, Indian Bankruptcy Code. Now they have reduced that. In other words, the threshold limit for referring to the bankruptcy code has been increased for MSME so as to give them the relief. Okay. Other than this, specifically there are certain other amendments in terms of the company law. In the company law, they have relaxed the board meeting to be held. Earlier it was 30 days and on, now they have reduced it to 60 days. Also, the government has postponed the crore. Crore is basically a compliance requirement for companies to be done by 31st March 2020. Now that has been deferred to 31st March 21. Now please note there are several other notifications, circulars, etc. which may come over a period of time. I'm just reviewing. Yeah, another important thing is in terms of the customs, the government has provided flexibility in terms of the custom. 24/7 custom clearances will be given. Also, please note that because of statute of limitation, this is very important point, please listen carefully. Because of the COVID-19 issues, a lot of appeals or a lot of tax legislation in relation to appeals, revision, filing of revision orders, revision of orders, etc. was stuck till 31st March 2020. Now all this has been extended to a further period which the government will notify. So again I'll repeat, what the Supreme Court and also the current lot of laws have done is 31st March 2020 was the due date for filing certain appeals, passing certain orders, filing certain applications, etc. This has been extended to a further time, which you will know through the notifications. So even there is a Supreme Court order which has come out day before yesterday where they have said clearly that the statute of limitation will be extended to a certain period. The government will see courts and laws, and the government will see the time till the things settle down in terms of COVID-19, and after that only they will announce the statute of limitation extended time. So friends, this was the overall thing. Please remember, again I am repeating, this is purely in terms of the statutory and regulatory compliances which our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitaraman has announced. The economic package is still due. I think maybe in a day or 2 or 3 she may announce. For that I'll come up with a separate video. Now, this is my humble request. After going through all this, all the businesses understand these provisions, go through the provisions, hear my videos. Also, I'll be doing future videos, hear them, review all the notifications, circular, etc. And then you ensure that we comply. Wherever any input, clarification, etc. is required, please mail me at info@sachinggrow.com and then I will reply for that. Also, the most important point, please don't come out of your houses. The Prime Minister of India has already explained to you in earlier that what are the challenges in terms of COVID-19. I once again wish for you and your family a happy Ugadi and a Gudi Padva. Please stay safe, secure with your family. This is Sachin Guru signing off, author of upcoming book called Wealth Sutra. Thank you very much. Keep watching and following me on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, etc. Wish you a happy Ugadi and a safe Gudi Padwa. Thank you very much.